was young, our dream was to go to the stars. And so we tried, gave our best, and in the end we made it into space. We came here to prove our machines, our courage. We came for the competition and for the vanity. But we weren't ready yet. And the dream faded, became a nightmare, became propaganda and lies. But soon, our old dream became a global necessity. We needed resources. We needed more space and more food. We needed a perspective. After years of digging in the dust of Mars, the inventors gave us wings, the hyperdrive. Our ticket to not only Venus or Jupiter, but to Messier, to Andromeda, and to a galaxy we call Alpha One. A galaxy full of bright suns and beautiful planets. A galaxy full of life. A new hope. An alliance of powerful corporations was forged, and Project Genesis initiated. The dream returned, and we became pioneers again. Arcs full of genetic material reached Alpha One. Their goal? Finding a new home for its cargo, and to initiate a new Genesis for mankind. The best commanders were chosen to lead these starships, and like myself, you are one of them.
Story, well, that was the story. Earth is fucked, followed up by a magic wormhole to an utterly hostile and lush galaxy. As for the rest of the story, there really isn't one. The basic premise is that you have to leave Earth to find a new world in this lush new galaxy. Beyond that, the story is really the one you make for yourself. The story of you and the story of your ship, and its journey throughout the galaxy. The gameplay includes, but not limited to, resource collection. You gain resources in two ways, firstly through a tractor beam, and secondly via away missions. The tractor beam is used to gather resources from the planet side, and occasionally bring up enemies that are attached to said debris, ranging from pirates to aliens that can carry spores. This is the worst fucking work environment ever. The reason why is because your fucking boss is running up and down the hallways, putting turrets every 3 fucking feet. And he started worshipping the stupid tractor beam, thinking it's gonna bring termites. And if he pleases it, it won't bring the same fucking termites. Well, let me tell you what. It doesn't matter how fucking long I sat there staring at the stupid fucking thing. It still brought more fucking termites and spores. I fucking hate spores. Look at the amount of paranoia I had in the first attempt, which ended with space aids all over my ship, only to suddenly have them all come to life and devour my entire ship in no time. To be honest with you, I had no idea how it fucking happened. All I know is when it happened, my entire ship was fucked. In every hole and in every vent. If you think I'm just joking about the tractor beam, by the way, most of the beginning stages of my game was spent with me just staring at the fucking thing, pointing a rifle at it. I began thinking that if I could sacrifice my crew and appease the fucking thing, it might not bring those things to destroy my asshole. And I was totally fucking wrong. They did. It did, and I didn't please the fucking tractor beam. The second method of resource gathering is to send away teams, which, to be completely honest with you, I loved. I loved the fact that you have to board it every single time, and I love the fact that there's a countdown. It feels really fucking immersive, I'll be honest with you. It really tickles my fancy there. But here's the problem with the boarding, and the best times are the first couple of times. Beyond that, it'll get boring, it'll get kind of stale. All the planets look pretty much the same, with a bit of variation on the fauna and the flora. There's some pretty interesting encounters, like one I had with some rock people, but even then, it was just big monsters slowly walking towards you that are easily gunned down by you, your crew, and your turret. Also, from time to time, the boarding sequence fucks up. On that same note, the AI is so fucking stupid. The first hint of this I got is when I accidentally sent my crew to the surface without me. How the fuck did you guys not notice the zoo that came with you on the fucking 10 by 5 foot fucking ship? That doesn't make any sense. They bring spores, ants, and pirates. How the fuck did that just sneak on? You're on a tiny fucking ship. That doesn't make any sense. So don't ever send the AI to do that. The AI will always bring back some shit to fuck your ship up. Other mechanics include you being able to research your clones and you being able to clone them, which helps build up your crew. You can also build weapons and you can research cures. Your ship can be fitted with many modules and plants that grow and will affect the biosphere of your ship. This is kind of neat because certain clones will be compatible with certain biospheres, and certain biospheres can include multiple types of aliens depending on the ratio of plants. You can run around the entirety of your ship in first person and see it and move and function on its own. It's really cool, assuming that you staff it with clones, of course. It's cool in the ant farm kind of way, if I'm being honest, just kind of watching the automation run. And the movement itself reminds me of Doom. You jump and run very smooth, very quickly. And to be honest with you, it's actually enjoyable and smooth. I was surprised. Where it falters is the aiming. The aiming is complete shit. The recoil is complete shit. And the gun sounds are so-so. They're not terrible. They're not great. The turret sounds especially bad. In regards to the weapons, there's a good variety. You have machine guns, laser guns, assault rifles, grenade launchers, and a few others. Nothing wholly unique, though, I'm afraid, for the setting. But overall, still a good variety of weapons. You'll have a lot of choice and a lot of upgrade possibilities. You'll even have a lot of things to develop into. Most of the time, or at least in most of my playthroughs, I actually never got all the weapons in one go. So, you'll get a lot of mileage out of it. You'll need these weapons to kill the AI in the game, but just like your away teams, the AI is still pretty stupid. The way they kill you in this game isn't really by their aim or intelligence, it's really by their overwhelming numbers and the small, tight corridors of your ship. They always send so many to attack you. I wonder how long I must grind before I'm completely pulverized by just one alien counter after a 10-hour run. It's so frustrating not knowing where or how you can defend yourself against these alien threats in the game. Because this alien threat in particular jumped on me out of nowhere. When you use your tractor beam, there's a small chance of aliens being attached to the debris. Most of the time, they'll crawl into the ventilations of the ship, and you'll have to crawl throughout the entirety of the ship to get rid of them. It causes me a fucking headache, personally. I'm not a huge fan of how you have to basically just roam around endlessly to find the spores. The ship doesn't tell you where they are most of the time, or at least any of the time. Apparently, there's artifacts that let you see the aliens themselves, but not their spores. Why the fuck isn't this automated? We can automate every other function on the ship besides the ventilation systems. Why the fuck can't I, like, light them on fire or suffocate them or something? I have to destroy parts of the ship for that to even be possible. I would be lying if I wasn't absorbed by the experience at times. The very thought of having to build your starship and prepare it for what could be an ass rape of an invasion is honestly a pretty interesting mechanic, especially when everything culminates in this big, huge fight where you have to stand your ground against countless pirates. It's great. I felt great when you actually had to take a stand and hold the ship. But most of the time, these encounters always ended with me dying. And this is after about 10 hours of fucking playing and preparation, and you still get fucking killed. It's the most annoying thing. The overall look and feel of the game is okay. I actually really like the aesthetics. Some people say it kind of looks like Aliens. I'm not really sure. But if you think it looks like Aliens, make that judgment from the gameplay here. It has some very sterile visuals at times. I really like that in certain parts of the ship. Versus, say, the planet side, which are kind of dusty and dirty. Which I really like at the same time. I just wish there was more variation on those environments. But when it comes to the overall art design, I actually like it a lot. It does its job very well. The problem with the graphics on the planets, though, is that the planets literally have one color. It's brown and only brown. You're only going to see that color on every planet you go to. And it makes these environmental missions feel pretty much the same. They get boring and dull pretty quickly, and they become basically biomass farming. At least for me, later in the game when I needed to pad my numbers with clones. On the aesthetic, there's definitely more of a retro style going here, especially in some of the menus around the game. Not just in the home menu, but also on a lot of the ship menus on the terminals. I like it. It reminds me of those old retro video games. If you're into that, you'll like it for sure. With the sound, like I said, the music's fine. I actually like the opening music a lot. Beyond that, no sound really stuck out to me. The shotgun sounded alright, the laser gun sounded alright. Everything sounded just alright. Really nothing's going to stand out to you here, and I don't know if that's a bad thing or if that's a good thing. There is, unfortunately, one sound that stands out, because it's really bad. The turret sound. The automated turret, when it shoots fully automatic, it makes the worst fucking sound. It grades on my ears. You know, with this game, there's lots to like and there's lots to not like. The game is very one note. You mine, grind, and survive. that's the name of the game. And honestly, it's really disheartening to have all your shit destroyed at the end, especially when Space Herpes seems to be responsible despite killing off most of your guys. And Pirate Attack. I mean, really, how many motherfuckers are there? How many spores, how many aliens do these fuckers have to send towards me? It's just overwhelming numbers constantly. I don't really think I ever did enough preparation. But I wonder, how many hours of preparation do I have to put in? 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours? I mean, I'll probably go back to play the game again and I might revise this. But to be completely honest, I played the game for about 40 hours, 50 hours. And the 10-hour run was probably my longest. And I did pretty well. I thought I did pretty well. I had a really large group of clones. I had shitloads of turns all over my ship. And I still got fucking trounced the moment I met one hostile alien. So, what the fuck do I know? So, this game is either overwhelmingly hard, and you can view it as a challenge set in space. You know, a challenge for your skills to organize, for your skills to prepare and fight, or as a duel manager sim. Even after I prepare turning my ship into the fucking Berlin Wall, I still get fucked by the first hostile contact. It has some tension that it builds by the seemingly random placement of spores that surprise you when they come to life and consume your ship. I have crews of clones, drones, and spaceships. As I said, why the fuck can't I automate the function to get rid of the spores? I can't delegate that to anyone? Going through those vents feels like a chore. Somehow, after a few days, a few angry dreams, later, I play again. Why? Well, I sort of like beating myself over and over again. Take that for the massively qualified statement that it is, though. Combat serves as punctuation. The brief highs in a very low game. One thing I'll have to admit, I never actually initiated the Genesis part of the game. I never found a planet. Because as soon as I get boarded, they send the entire gang to bang my shit the fuck up. But somehow, I was drawn back, even after these horrible defeats and having to restart. It's great kicking the game in the dick, only for it to kick you back harder. It's great to stand your ground and hold the ship, patching holes and feeding clones to the fucking meat grinder. Yeah, this game is quite dystopian. You'll like it if you like the setting, or if you like managing. I reflect on this review while I write it, because I think about so much I like about the game, and so much I didn't. And after about 40-50 hours a game, I'm burnt out. I'm not gonna lie, the replay value is pretty low because you're gonna be doing mostly the same thing every time you go through. It feels about the same. Progression is very slow at times, and all of it can come crashing down so quickly. The game's highs are rare, its lows are relatively common. It's satisfying at times. I mean, it's a satisfying game to beat. It really is. Or at least to survive and know that you're doing well in. Thanks for watching. Leave a suggestion, like, and subscribe.